So come find your slider. So this will be useful for the first part of the class, but we'll probably use most of it, use it for most of the time. So we'll start with this, just to warm up the inner thighs a little bit. If you feel a little bit wobbly for some reason, feel free to take a chair and that will be your something to hold on to. But if you don't feel like that's a big deal, then that's okay. So come on the mat, so just fold your mat in half, and then your other foot will be on the slider. And then from here, you can just squat a little bit, and then come all the way up. And then again, you squat, and then you come all the way up. Just not doing anything with the slides yet. And then come all the way up. 3 more like this, just squatting. Trying to make sure that your knees track towards the front. But if something hurts, then if it has to drop, then that's okay. And then last one like this, stay. And then you slowly straighten your leg and stay here for 2 seconds. And then slowly drag the leg in. And then come all the way up. And again, slowly drop. And then from here, you slowly slide and stay for 2 and 1. Come all the way in and slowly stand up. And again, calm down. And then stay out here, this time for 3 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly drag up as you stand up towards the floor. Again, towards the ceiling. Again, come down and straighten up for 3 and 2 and 1. As you come up, you straighten your other leg. And last one like this, you squat. And then you straighten your leg and stay here for 3 and 2 and 1 and slowly straighten to come up. All right, we'll go over to the other side just so the burn is equal. So from here, you start with your squat and you straighten for 2 and 1 and you come all the way in. And again, so come all the way up again. And come down and you squat for 2 and 1. Come all the way in and up. If you feel like this is too much or like this is not enough and you want to go more, then go ahead this way and then stay in your squat and right away straight, stay out again. And come in. And 2 and in, and this time come into your 3 seconds and 3 and 2 and 1. Straighten the right leg as you come all the way up, or anything, whichever one is your standing leg. Again, come down into your squat and straighten the leg for 3 and 2 and 1 and straighten all the way up. And again, out for 3, 2 and 1. Slowly straighten, and this is your last one. Stay here for 3 and 2 and 1. Come all the way up. From here, come right away onto your slider. And then from here, take your time, find awareness in your upper back and also in your lower back, and slowly make your way down. So you roll down, you find curl in your spine, and if you can, right away touch the floor. If that means bending your knee a little bit, so be it. Slowly just slide your leg out until you find more or less like a downward dog position. So stay here for me. See if you can stick your butt out a little bit more. So when you push the butt back a little bit more and keeping the sliders still, that means that your upper back will probably be more open. So this is an opening for the chest. All right, and then from here, you can come all the way in. And again, so slowly straighten up and stay here for me. And really try to stick your butt out. And if you can, try to keep your knees really straight and going back. All right, and then from here, you slowly come back in. You can bend your knee a little bit. And this time, you'll have your knees in. Down on the sliders. I'm going to slide out a little bit, just so I have a little space. From here, you can already go into your elbow here. But if you want to go up and stay here, please be my guest. From here, you'll slide everything out and then slowly drag back in. And again, when you drag out, keep your shoulders right above your wrist because afterwards we'll be coming back in and I don't want your shoulders to move. And again, so this is all abdominal work. You will feel most of the abdominal work here in the middle of your belly and come all the way up. And your last one like this, out. And then slowly come back in. All right, from here, come stand back up. And then we'll take this, come stand on your mat, I'll just straighten up my mat again. And then from here, you'll straighten your arms. Your feet will be about hip width apart. This will be useful. This is not just some like, use your towel. This will double as, in Pilates, usually we use like beams, like long wooden beams. But this time we'll just be using our own towels because we're home. So from here, keeping your arms really straight. So if you're coming from the side like this, you can see that my arms are completely straight. And this will be like the end of the line, about shoulder width apart, a little bit bigger maybe. And then from here, right leg comes up. And then tapping down towards the floor, right away come up again. And tapping down towards the floor and coming back up again. If you feel like it's easier for you to grip, then feel free to grip. But if you want to keep your fingers long and open, go ahead and do so. And 2 more like this, tapping down and slowly come up. And last one like this, tapping down and slowly come up. Stay here for me. Slowly open your legs out without turning your hip with you. Your hip stays facing me. And then come all the way back in. And again, slowly opening up. And then coming back in. This is the tricky part. Even though you're moving your right side, or whichever one is your moving leg, the other non-moving leg is the one that's working really hard to keep you in balance. So keep yourself really planted on the floor with your standing leg while the other one swivels out and in. One more time like this. And coming in from here. Stay where you are. Gotta stay on my side. And then slide the arms forward as you reach the leg. If you fall, that's okay. And slowly come back up and hug your knee in towards your chest. And again, slowly straighten up and find your arms reaching out. A little bit like when we were doing our what do you call that? And come back up again. The downward dog. So you want to try and keep your upper back really long, your chest really open, your heart open towards the front, and your arms really reaching. And then slowly come back up and come all the way down. Switch legs. So keep your arms straight and then lift your leg. And then slowly tap down and lift your leg again. And slowly tap down. 3 more like this. Lift. And come down. 2 more. And come down. And this is your last one. Up and stay here. Now slowly swivel your knee open to the side and come all the way in. And again, open up towards the side and come back in. Really try to keep your bottom leg, the one that's standing, really grounded on the floor. And depending on your balance and depending where your dominant leg is, this may be a little bit more difficult than the other leg. That's okay. And then come all the way in. And from here, I'm going to hop. And then you slowly straighten your leg back while you bring your arms forward. Take your time here. And then as you're coming up, reach the arms down as you come up. And you bend your knee in towards your chest. And again, straighten, come back. Reaching your arms long and your legs long away from you. And slowly come back in, bringing them together. And come up. Just 2 more like this, reaching back. Finding extra length throughout. Your fingers are reaching long and your legs are also reaching long away from you. And slowly come up. And up. And this is your last one, reaching back. And then slowly come back up. And this time come to straight with your legs. Open about hip width apart. Keep your arms here. And as you reach your arms forward, you up towards the ceiling, then you squat. And slowly come up and you reach your back as you reach your arms forward. And again, lifting up and you squat. And then coming up and you reach your arms long and you sit towards your back. But no bending at the knees, as much as you can. If you need to bend a little bit, fine, but don't go into your full squat. And then slowly up and reach, and you come to your full squat. And this is your last one, reach back. Stay here for me. And maybe you can do small pulses here. When you do small pulses, I don't want you to go back and forth. I want you to go down towards the floor. But you keep your lower back long, like someone pulls you back from your hips. And also your upper back, your heart is really opening. And 3, and 2, and 1, and come all the way up. All right. Ditch your sliders, and we'll come down catch our breath. Lie down on your back. All right. When you're here, reach your arms a little bit apart. So not too close together, but not also in a T, just kind of in an A from the top. And then bring your right leg up and straighten the leg, and you bend your knee. If the shaking is too much, then feel free to pull down to your hands or to your thigh. But if you feel like you can manage it, then just stay here. And while you're here, I want you to start feeling like you can open your hips. More and more, you're feeling more opening in the hips. You're more flat. You're more relaxed. Let your leg do the work. Let your hamstrings do some of the work, but not your upper hip here. All right, from here, straighten your leg and then slide down towards the floor and come all the way up again. And again, you tap down towards the floor and slowly reach up. Tap down towards the floor and then slowly come up. Imagine you have a basket on your ankle and you're tapping the basket down and then you're lifting the basket back up. And then 2 more like this. Come down and lift up. And last one like this, come down and lift up and stay here for me. And then the other leg comes up as well. And then you do your small bicycle. Just focus as if your ankles are as short as your knee. So you want to work towards just opening the hips. And then this time you can also bring your hands to your knee and maybe open. No particular order. Just circling the hips, opening a little bit with the hips, and finding more mobility here. Keeping your lower back as much as possible on the floor. All right, from here, hug your knees in. And then if you want to keep your head down for this portion, feel free. But if not, please come up with me. Look into your navel, hugging your knees in. So when you hug your knees in, I don't want you to start lifting your neck like this. You're still looking down towards the floor and only up to the tip of your shoulder blades. So your whole brow line should still be on the floor. And then you keep bringing your knees in towards you, but your ankles are lifting up with you as well. So there's tension in the hamstrings, there's tension in the shins here. And then from here, you slowly come down. And again, trying to keep your lower back as much as possible in contact with the mat. You slowly hug in. You bring your elbows out like you want to poke me. So you're really opening here. There's a lot of tricep connection to your lats here. And then come all the way down. And then 3 more like this. You slowly come up and you hug. And you bring your knee closer and closer to you. You feel like you can hollow out your belly a little more. Scoop. And then slowly come down. And last one like this. You come up, you try to find your lower back on. Really on the mat. And then from here, bring one leg in towards you, the other leg straightens out. Or if this is too much for you, then you can straighten it up towards the ceiling. And then you slowly switch for your single leg stretch. And then slowly switch for your single leg stretch. And keep going. If you want to keep it up here, fine by me. If you want to start to go down, also fine by me. The only thing is keep your lower back really close towards the mat. When you pull, I want you to pull straight past your ears towards the back of the room. And then switch. And you pull the same way. And you pull the same way. Keep looking to your navel. Can you scoop out a little more? Can you find your lower back closer to the floor for this one? And this is your last one. Hug your knees in and lower your head down. If you want to roll your hips, go ahead. And if not, you can just turn your neck from side to side. All right. From here, I want you to hug your knees in, and that helps you curl up towards the ceiling too, or curl up closer towards the wall, position in your body, and then take your hands behind your thigh, and then from here start to rock slowly. Rock slowly. Really try to find your lower back on the mat. Okay? When you're ready, start to kick down, and you come up into your rolling like a ball position. Stay here for me. I want you to do like this really small part of the lower back, the rolling like a ball today. So you just roll a little bit and you come up again. So you don't want to roll your whole spine down. You just want to tilt your pelvis in towards you and you come all the way back up again. Again, you tilt and you find more length in your hips and you come back up again. So this actually requires so much more core strength and focus than when you use momentum. And this is the work here. The real work is the going back and then the coming back up. You notice when you come back, you find your core a lot more. And then when you come up, you also find that core. You want to try to keep as much as possible a C in your spine. So you roll back and you come up. And you roll back and you come up. See if you can now bring your elbows a little farther away from you. That way you can find extra tricep work. Roll back and come up. 2 more like this. If you're wobbly a little bit, that's okay. Just think about your right side belly and left side belly. That it works more together. And come up. This time if you want to go 1 and do your full rolling like a ball, go ahead. If you want to keep going with the small rolling like a ball, go ahead and do so. We just want to do 3 more. Just a massage the spine. See if you can really hug your knees closer to your chest each time. And last one like this, come all the way up and stay here for me. And then maybe one leg comes up. Just keep your knees really squeezed together. And then maybe the other one also comes up. And maybe your arm comes up like this, reaching your arms up towards the ceiling and come down. So now you are sitting down on the mat. I'm going to move back into my mat so my whole leg is on. Take your sliders again. You'll bring your arms up towards the front, like so. So if your sliders are really long, then you can just make it to 2 and do the same. Okay? Reach your arms really long. This doubles as your weight 2. And then this time, like someone pushes you from the back here. So you reach forward. And then from here, you hang your head low and you roll the spine back, squeezing your glutes a little bit. And you come up towards the ceiling. And again, you roll forward. And then you drop your head, you roll your spine with you. Really find that curve in the spine. And that helps you stack the spine to come back up. And again, roll forward. And then hang your head as you roll back. Really find the glute connection here. You want to squeeze your glutes more. And keep your arms reaching out. And slowly come up. And one more time like this. Lean. And then hang your head. Find your curve in the spine. And then roll to come all the way up. From here, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. If this is too much for your shoulders, then you can bend your elbows. So from the front, it would look like this. But know that this will help you so that you're not tempted to bring your arms a little bit more than the other. So what I mean is this. I don't want your arms to go much further than what your chest can twist. Okay? So I'll do it with my arms straight. But if you want to bend your elbows, then go ahead and do so. You straighten your legs and straighten your arms and you slowly twist towards the right side. And then slowly come back to center. And then twist again towards your left side this time. And come all the way back in. When you twist towards the right, feel like someone is pulling you and cracking you from the ribs. And then slowly come back to center. And then you twist towards your left side. And then come back to center. And twist again towards your right side. And see if you can roll your shoulders back a little more. And come back to center. Now roll towards your left side. And then come back to center. One more time on each side. Once on the right. And then come back to center. And once on the left. And come back to center. All right. I want to teach you saw without the sliders first, but we'll add the sliders in. So take your arms to a T position. And then you twist towards your right side. And then your left arm goes to your right foot. And the other arm goes up. And then slowly come up. And you come back to center. And then go towards your left side. The right arm now goes to your left foot, while the other arm goes up like this. And then slowly come up, and you come back to center. And again, let's try again. Just rolling down. Exactly when we were rolling forward, that's the feeling. And then from here, you find the curve in your spine to help you come up, scoop your belly a little bit more, and you come back to center. Now go over to your left side, and then bring your arm down towards the front leg, and the other arm pushes up towards the ceiling. And slowly come up and come back to center. This time with the slider. I'll change the movement a little bit. So you reach your arms up towards the ceiling. You twist towards the right side, and then you roll to come forward, and then you twist towards the back, and you come back up towards the front, and you come up towards the ceiling, and come back. Now twist again towards your left, and then you roll forward towards the front. And then from here, you slide your body towards the back. As much as you can, lead with the tricep that's closer to the back. And then come back to center, and you roll to come back up again. And you come back to center. Again, twist towards the right, and then roll forward. Roll forward towards your right side. And then from here, twist towards the back. And then come back up. Roll to come up. And this is your last one on your left side. And you roll forward for me. And then you twist back towards the back, leading with your left tricep. Come back to forward towards center, and roll to come up, and come back to center. All right, from here, bring your legs together. So the legs are completely together, reaching your arms forward, and you roll the spine down. And you reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And then this time, press the arms down towards the floor. It's really important here. I don't want like flabby sliders. I want the towel to be really straight. And you roll to come up, and you reach, you scoop your belly, and that helps you reach forward. So right here, I want your shoulders to stay back. Imagine as if the one that's holding your sliders is not your upper shoulders, but it's the back here, the one near the arms. And then you roll the spine back. Really try to find contact with the mat. Each spine goes down, and then come all the way down. And try again, reach your arms down towards the floor. Curl up towards the ceiling. Then push the towel. And keep reaching the towel away from one another. That helps you pull up towards the sky, towards the front. And then rolling the spine back. Finding each bone down, down, and down, and come all the way down. And this is your final one. You come up, really pull the towel away from you. And that helps you lift up. And reach, and reach, and reach. All right, keep your sliders by you and lie on your belly. All right. So from here, just leave the sliders where they are. And you'll start with a few warm-ups for the leg. So right leg will bend. This is my right leg right here. I flex my foot and slowly push up towards the sky. And come down. When I push up towards the sky, I don't want the knee to pull in towards the butt or to pull out away from the butt. I want it to be straight up. And you come down. And again, straight up. And come down. And straight up. And come down. And I want you to start checking at your right hip versus your left hip. I want the right and the left hip to stay close towards the mat. And hopefully, both are equal. And then one more time like this, stay. Reaching up and start to pulse. Pulse and pulse and pulse and pulse. And 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and come all the way down. Go over to the other side. My left leg bends. I flex my foot and I slowly push the heel up towards the sky. And I come down. And again, push the leg up towards the sky. And come down. Again, when I push, it's as if I have something up on my foot and I'm serving it up towards the ceiling. And come down. Or like I'm pushing the ceiling up higher than what it already is. And then stay here, stay up. See if you can maintain the hip bones on the right side and left side really equal to one another. And you start to pump and pump and pump and pump and pump. Try to keep tension off your neck. And 2, and 1, and come all the way down. Now keeping your leg at rest here, take your slider and bring your slider behind you, and your arms will be joined by the towel. All right, from here, slowly lift your head and you reach your towel. Rather than reaching up towards the ceiling, you want to start reaching it down towards you, towards the leg. That way you can lift your upper back a little bit higher and then come down. If you've done the tower before, this helps you just like the springs are like pulling you back. Yeah. And then slowly come down. And again, slowly reaching up. I want you to make sure that you're not lifting up from the lower back, that your lower back stays really curled and your pubic bone stays pushed. And this is all the work that's coming from the rolling of your shoulders. So here's the difference. If you're lifting up with the tricep going up like this, when you lift up, then you start lifting from the upper back, or from the lower back, more like. Now I want you to really slide the arm down. Let the shoulders glide down, then you lift up. So that way it's a lot of upper back work and not the lower back. If this feels too much for you, then loose the sliders. You can still reach your arms up like this and come down. There's no need to feel pain in the lower back. There shouldn't be pain there. Okay? But if you are up for this, then make sure, please, to really slide your shoulders down before you start to lift. And come down. And this is your final one. Stay here. And then take the slider, bring it forward, and come down. We'll be doing our swimming next. So again, if this is too much for you, then keep your head down, keep your arms where they are, then you'll just flutter the legs. You'll actually start this way. So start fluttering your legs. Notice if you can keep your pubic bone down and your hip bones both facing down. And then from here, maybe lift your head up a little bit more. Maybe bring your chest a little bit closer towards the ceiling. Keep looking down at the mat. From here, maybe reach your arms up and then maybe reach your arms down. And reach your arms up and reach your arms down. If the sliders are way too much for you, then leave it and you can just lift your arms and lift your arms down. And then lift your arms and bring your arms down. 2 more sets. And lower, and this is your last one. And lower, and lie down, and come into your rest pose. So come sit on your heels and just reach. Take a breath here. And then from here, I want to just take an extra time because there's a lot on the lower back just now. So you can just bend your elbow and you tuck your pelvis and maybe even come to your semi cat pose. And then you just slowly come out. And then really tilt your pelvis out. That means your tailbone is reaching up towards the sky. And then from here, you stretch a little bit and tuck your pelvis. Then slowly come down and reaching up. And again, rolling to come in. And then come back out. If you want to come right away into your cat and cow, feel free to do so. That'll also work. All right, from here, come lie down on your side. Lie down with your knee bent, so the knee is right in front of your heels. Sorry, in front of your hips. And then please take time to find your hands on your hip and just make sure that your upper body is really straight. It's not like the hip is rolled forward or maybe too rolled back. I want it to be really down on the floor, and the length of this one and this side, so the right side and the left side, is more or less similar. Okay, from here, open your knees apart. When you open your knees apart, I want you to really find that turn and then come all the way in. If it's hard for you to find that turn, you're curious to find that turn, open your knee and then maybe lift up a little more. Lift up and find your knee pointing up towards the ceiling if it doesn't hurt your knee. And that way you can really find that connection on the inner thigh and a little bit on the outer thigh as well, and come down. But if you're good here, then stay where you are. And then open and close. And 2 more and close. And this is your last one. Stay here. And then bring your heel up towards the ceiling and then tap the heel down. And then lift the heel up towards the ceiling and down. Notice, I didn't have you bring your knee down. The knee stays up. So here you're really using the inner part of your hamstrings and a lot of the glutes to hold you. And then 3, and 2, and last one. Stay here. Now tap the knee and then turn up. Turn the knee in and turn up. Turn the knee in and out. And 2. And last one. Stay here for me. You straighten your leg out. Flex your foot. And slowly kick back towards the back. So then it makes one straight line from the head all the way to the heel. and then kick forward again. And then swing the leg back. And then swing the leg forward again. And swing the leg back. And 2 more like this. When you swing, I don't want you to swing from the ribs. I want you to really swing from the hip. You're finding a lot of strength from the hamstrings. And this is your last one. Kick back and stay here. And then from here, I want you to slide your hip out. So then you create a little space here. And then you come back in. And you slide out. Your hip slides out. And then slowly come back in. And 3 more like this. Slide out. And then come back in. And 2 more. Sliding out. And then coming back in. And this is your last one. Sliding. And come back in. This time straighten your bottom leg. Join the other leg. And maybe find balance here. So when you are balanced, your legs are together. Your hips and your ribs are kind of in one line. If you come up from the upper side, you'll see that you'll still have a natural curve. So imagine what your natural curve of the spine looks like and try to emulate that even as you're laying on your side. And come down. Lie on your other side. Isn't it nice to do it without the sliders for once? So lie on your back. So again, this is always an option, but if you want to lie on your head, go ahead and do so. Okay? And then from here, you'll bring your knee open apart and then come back in. Again, open apart and come back in. Open apart and come back in. Again, if you want to add extra spikes, then you can lift up and really try to point your knee up towards the ceiling as long as it doesn't hurt your knee. And come down. Again, open, and you can find a little tug in the back here. Yeah, that's the work that I want. And then one more time like this, lift, and then maybe lift a little more to twist out. And then come back this time. Your knee is in one line with your hip, so the knees are apart. And then from here, tap your heel down to make one another, and then up. The heels kiss one another, and you go up. And the heels tap, and come up. And 2, and come up. And last one, and come up. Stay here. Now tap your knee, and then back up. Turn your knee in, and then open up. When you come in and as you turn out, I want you to feel like you're twisting the knee apart. Yeah. And then 2. And last one. And up and stay here. Send your leg out to me. Flex your foot. And then drive the heel back. So now you're in one line with the head. And then kick forward. This is a lot for you. Whenever you're coming back, you're starting to roll back. Then maybe touch your hip a little bit. Make sure your hip stays where they are. And you come up. And if that means that the reach isn't as big as ideal, that's okay. Start with what you have and keep working towards more reach towards the back. And then 2 more like this, reaching back. When you reach to come back in, I don't want it to collapse at the belly. The belly stays long, and that helps you keep in. And this is your last one. Stay here. Stay where you are. Lift my head up. And then slide the leg, and then come back in. So when I main slide the leg, I want you to reach the heel towards the back of the room and come back. So as you reach the back of the room, this side that's lying on the mat is lifted a little bit, and then come back. And then up, and come back. And then 2. And last one, keep your legs straight. Point the foot this time. Bring your other leg with you. And then bring your legs together. And then the other arm goes up. And just balance here. This is what it looks like when you're standing. Right? So imagine that your head is still in one line with your upper back. And also with the pelvis. And there's natural curves here. Not too wide with the ribs. Pull the ribs in a little bit. But don't let the hips roll back. Keep the hips facing forward, facing me. And then 2, and 1, and come all the way down. All right. From here, I want you to, let's do a little side bend work here. We'll start sitting down, and then we'll come to kneel, and we'll stand at the end. So reach your sliders up again towards the ceiling, and slowly find your side bend. So when you side bend, the ribs are pulling to one direction, while the rest of the body is dropping towards the other direction. I want the elbows to be really straight And again, the arms are pulling away from one another. And then slowly come up. And then let's go over to the other side. Don't lead with your neck. Your neck is really not part of the equation. It just follows. So you come towards the side, and then you come up towards the ceiling. And then again, twist, or not twist, but side bend towards this is my left side, and then come back up. And then to your other side, and come on. I'm gonna show you from the side, but keep staying where you are. When you side bend, I don't want you to roll back, and I don't want you to lean forward either. It's a straight spine. You're a bread inside a toaster. So the toaster is right at the front here and also at the back. You will get burned if you roll forward or if you roll back. So you try to keep as much length as possible in the spine. And then come up, and this is your last side. And see if you can roll the shoulders back a little more and come up. All right, from here, let's kneel. And then as you're kneeling here, I'm gonna face my side, just so it's a little easier. Feel free to point your feet away, or if you wanna just bring your ankle in a little bit for now, that's okay too. I'm gonna try and challenge myself here. So reach your arms up towards the front, and then reach it up towards the ceiling, bend a little bit, and straight up, and come down. And again, let's just start with a couple of bending at the elbows. This helps situate your shoulders. I don't want your shoulders to be lifted up really close to your ears. I want it to be away from you. And forward again. And bend. And come up. Drop for an extra challenge. Maybe bring it back a little more and maybe bend behind your head. Not by bringing your head forward, right? Keeping your head in one line of the spine. And last one. And you bend. And you come up. This time you side bend. Feel as if one arm is going to go all the way down towards the floor, really side bend here. And then you come up towards the ceiling and you go over to the other side. And then you come up and you side bend again. And you come up. I'm going to show you from the front and you go over to the other side. And then come up. This time you come, really try to reach your arms down, and then do reach your arms down and the other leg comes back. All right, leave the sliders, take your hand behind your head, and maybe lift the leg and come down. This is all we'll do. Next week, we'll do an extra for this one. And up and lower. And this is your last one, keeping your ribs really high up. Yeah, after all, this is a side bend, right? And then from here, maybe flex your foot and then point your foot. Flex your foot and point your foot. Flex your foot and point your foot. And last one like this, flex and point, and you bend your knee and you come up. Take your slider up again, and then this time we'll go over to the other side. So you reach over to the other side, really find as much length as possible, and come down and you kick the leg up, right? Keeping the rib really high. Take your other hand towards your head and up and lower down, and you go up and lower down, and you go up and lower down. When you go up, feel like you can keep lengthening the rib up towards the ceiling. Good, and last one like this, and maybe flex and point. And you flex and you point. If this is too much for you, then just stay where you are. Keep your neck in one line with the spine. Not curved like this and not curved this way either. And last one, and you come all the way up. All right. We'll end with some standing squat work, as if the squats that we have aren't enough. All right, we'll start with a few hip work first. So bring your slider down again. Come with one feet on the mat and the other feet off the mat on the slider. And then take your hands on your hip and slowly slide down. When you slide down, bend the front knee and the other knee goes down. If you've been on a reformer, this is the reformer work, when you slide the carriage out and then from here slowly come up. The only thing here is that it does make it a little bit harder, because when you're pulling here, you're trying to also straighten your leg. And again, come down and then slowly come up. And then two more like this, reaching back. And then slowly come back up. And last one, stay here for me. And then in your lunge, do your squat. Maybe bend your knee a little bit closer. Bring your knee closer to the floor. And 3, and 2, and 1, and come all the way up and straight up. Move the slider, go over to the other side, and then slide down. Aren't you glad there's only 2 legs here? And then come back, straighten your leg back, and bend at the front knee. Don't bend too far forward, or don't bend too far back either. And sliding up, and then come down. And then slowly slide up this time, come down and stay where you are. And you slowly come down, touch the floor with the knee, and you come up and maybe come down more. And down, and down, and down, and 2, and last one, and come all the way up. Whew. All right. And then from here, let's do what we call the ice skater. Okay. Let me just tilt it up a little bit. Okay. You'll kneel. Not kneel, sorry. You'll squat. So from the side, it'll look like this. Not too much. I don't want this squat. Okay, just squat a little bit, just enough. Keep most of the weight on the standing leg on the mat. And then you slide up and come in. Slide up and come in. Slide up and come in. And slide up and come in. And 3, and 2. And last one, come all the way up and straighten your arms. Reach your arms and roll the spine down here. And maybe touch the floor. If you can't touch the floor, that's okay. Maybe bring your hands to your ankle and slide out for me. This doubles as your split. I can never do splits, so the reformer was a big help for me. As splitty as I get, is this much. And then from here, you roll the spine to come up, keeping your arms to the side, and you drag in. Right, go over to the other side. Keep most of your weight on your standing leg, whichever one is your standing leg. Squat just a tiny bit and straighten the leg and come in. Straighten the leg and come in. Straighten the leg and come in. And 2. And last one. And then from here, keeping your legs together, arms up towards the ceiling, circle and roll the spine down. From here, you can reach your hands to your ankle or towards the floor. You reach your leg apart into your semi-split. Take your time here. If you want to tuck and tilt a couple of times, as long as you don't slide even further, go ahead. And then from here, you roll to come up, keeping that same length in your legs, and come all the way in. All right. Last thing. Trust me, this is the last thing with the slider today. Probably never want to do the sliders again. So, I hope you do. It's excellent work. Take your hands on your mat. If you want to come to your elbow, actually, why don't we all come to our elbow? So you can really get a tricep work rather than the wrist work here. And then from here, I want you to find your foot on the slider and you slide it up. Now, really important here, keep your shoulders right in front of your elbows, because after this, you'll be piking up towards the ceiling and then coming back up. If you need to bend your knee, you can bend your knee, but keep your hip really lifted up. And if you can, try to keep straightening your knee. And pulling in. And just 3 more like this, keeping your head high. It's not lying on the mat. And 2 more. And your last one like this, really exhale to come in and bend your knee. And come to your child's pose. Take your breath here. And I'll have you thread your right arm underneath your left arm. So your left arm is straight, and your right arm goes underneath you. Maybe bring your head down. But try to feel like your ribs are pulling you out, or rather like twisting you out, rather than just like pulling your neck. And then come all the way back in. And you go over to your other side. Regulating breath. And then slowly coming back in. And let's come to our mats again for your final breath. I promise you, no more crazy work. Not today. Next week. Either lie down. If you want to lie down and take your breath here, go ahead. But if not, just come sit on the mat and take a few breaths here. Take a breath. When you exhale, feel like your oxygen is pushing out and your ribs are hugging you in. And again, inhale, feel like your ribs are expanding out to the side. And then as you exhale, come back in. And 2 more like this. This time as you exhale, see if you can lift your chest up a little bit more. Lifting your head up, but not leading with your neck, leading with your chest instead. And then coming back in. And again, maybe if you have your hands on your knee, push your knees out a little bit more. And you lift from your chest, you open your heart. We don't open our hearts a lot. Not metaphorically, but like in real life, in our position, we just keep our chest in. So really try to open. And really slide the shoulders back. And then come in. And your last one, lift up. If this is too much for your neck, maybe you can just drop your neck down. In fact, like keeping your chest really close to your chin, but keep lifting your chest up. Here you can really feel that the chest is the one that's working and not your neck. And come down. And then from here, just do a couple of roll back and come. And you roll back and you come up. And 2 more like this, rolling back and come up. And last one like this, rolling back. And you come up. And you are good to go.